Welcome back to my channel, friends. This video is actually a part of a homeschooling collaboration, my first one, with 3 other homeschool moms that are just a delight and in similar life stages and seasons as me. We're all homeschooling moms with littles, especially toddlers. You'll definitely want to check out their videos. The playlist will be linked in my description, but Hannah went first, and then Marissa from the Organized Homeschool also went, and then after me, it's going to be Jerilyn. So you're going to love each of our differences and our perspectives, and I hope this blesses you and helps you if you're in a similar life stage or are coming up on the toddler years. Our usual routine is we wake up at 7 a.m. and I make breakfast right away. One of the kids is usually ready to help me, and then we just have breakfast all together. Although, since our newest blessing has joined us, I usually get a few bites of breakfast before I have to go right into the next room and nurse the baby. So I try to eat pretty quickly until she starts crying. It's nice because I can keep an eye on my toddler who tends to be a little mischievous if I'm not around. And so I can nurse and then put her in her little baby swing when she is done, and then quickly finish my meal while the little ones play outside and clean up and ask anybody who is able to help clean up. And they're usually all assigned their own morning chores that we have. And the toddler to help a little bit more. She is starting to get old enough to have like regular chores, but still they're done with me. So from the time we finish breakfast to about 9:15 when we start our lessons, they get their chores done, and then they are able to spend the rest of the time outside, just free playing until we start our lessons. Something that I found really helpful in our homeschool is I do let my toddler have outside time, but I also call her in first, and then I spend some quality time filling up her cup. I'll let her pick 3 picture books daily and get ready to set up some toddler activities with her. I have lots of stuff that I'll show probably closer to the end of this video of some ideas if you're needing any, but what I'll do is I'll read picture books with her. If she wants to stay outside just like 5 more minutes, then I will set up the homeschool table and then I will read with her after. In this season, I've just found it so helpful. We call it her school, and then she gets one-on-one attention with me. The older kiddos are welcome to listen as well, but the fact that she gets to pick them out and sit on mom's lap and just have my time undivided with her is so special. We, of course, still run into like ups and downs during homeschool lessons, but I would say this goes way smoother than it would have. And here are the books that she chose today. I love Diane Stanley. All of these are winners. They were such good books. And so then I usually get my baby wear or wrap on so that I am ready for when little Miss Baby does wake up from her nap, and I can easily just pop her in and continue on with lessons. So I'm still setting up the table, just making sure we have everything, because the more organized I am, the more smooth the lessons will go. I've learned that the hard way. Another thing I do with my toddler is I make sure she's included in as much as possible without being disruptive to my older ones. So they have their own independent work, but she is included in our family studies. We start the day off with morning time, which is like our hymns and folk songs, Bibles, Old Testament and New Testament, recitation, artist study. She is welcome to join us for all of that. And she's also welcome to go and play if that's what she would rather do. She usually likes to tag along and have her own little morning menu and do some calendar work. It's just scribbling, but she's just so happy to be included. And I find this very helpful too.
A Savior, which is Christ the Lord.
Very good.
Luke 4:4. And Jesus answered him, saying, It is written that man shall not live by bread alone, but by every word.
Okay.
So here she kind of got bored with what I had set up for her, so I pulled some toys in, and of course my oldest was ready to play with the toys with her. And sometimes this is good,
Go
but
ahead and sit
sometimes
in
it's
your
a
spot right
distraction
there.
for
You
my
can get
oldest
out your
then.
coloring
So
Bible.
it was more
You may not.
me having to
Your
tell her, like,
eye
just
twitch
let
is
the
the
toddler
side
play
left.
and you
I
still have to
have it
do your
on the
schoolwork.
east side of Bethel and spake unto them,
We've got
saying,
Bible
Go
study
up
that
and
we're
view
doing
the country.
here,
And the men
and
went up and
I
viewed it.
have
And
coloring book
they
Bibles. They're
returned to
pretty
Joshua
neat.
and said
They're
unto him,
not
Let not
they're
all the
not the
people
full
go
Bible,
up,
but they're not
but let
really
about
meant
2 or
for
3
them
thousand men go
to
up and
read
smite
because
back,
they have
and
their
not make
own
all the people to
special
labor
Bibles
thither, for
for
they
children,
are
the
but
adventure
few.
Bibles. But these coloring
So
Bibles are really
there
fun.
went up
They don't
thither, and
always
of the people
color the same
about three
picture that
thousand
we're
men, and
talking
they
about
fled
or
before the
reading
men of Ai.
about, but
And the men of
they
Ai
have been
smote
enjoying those.
of
And
them.
then I just
So
find it's really good.
it
I
was
get really
Achan,
good
and what did he
narration
take? What did God tell
when
him
I'm asking my
not to take?
oldest. And now my kindergartner has also started chiming in. She's not required to because she's
From
not technically formally a student, but
who?
she is an official student. So she's not required to narrate, but she has
From the
started this
from the
year, and
city
it's
of
just so
Jericho,
cute.
just like the ruins.
And this is exactly why I
Everything
set up
that
the
they
baby
took was
wrap
supposed to be given to God,
earlier
not
on,
be
is
kept for
because usually when we
themselves.
get started with our
And so
lessons,
Joshua rent
my
his
baby wakes up
clothes and
very
fell to the earth
quickly and
upon
is
his
ready to
face
join us. So
before
she's
the
very
ark of the
content.
Lord until the
And then
eventide.
I'll
Then the
start
elders of
after
Israel
morning time
put
individual lessons.
dust upon
And
their
so
heads.
the toddler and kindergartner get to play first together. They will go and play in the next
The
room,
boxes
and I will
containing
be able
each
to
pattern just
do
like before.
just
So
independent
I
work
want you
with
to
my
just pay
oldest, and
attention
then
to
they'll swap. And it's been
the
so
numbers.
nice
So
for
see
the
how,
toddler
what is
because
this now?
she is able to have different playmates
So this is
and things just
-2,
stay fresh. I don't
-3,
do
-5,
individual
-10,
lessons too
So
long, but if
subtraction
we
is just
can't get everything
subtraction.
done,
So
then
go ahead
I'll
and do
save it
that.
for nap time if maybe the toddler's having lots of meltdowns or things are just not going too well. And then I usually take time
But y'all
to
did it.
nurse the baby while my oldest does her independent work that she can do by herself. She's year 3, so she can't do everything by herself. I think that's going to happen a little bit more in year 4, but or at least not everything by herself, but she's starting to. She's able to do her copy work, and so we're on week 5 right now. And then this is for my kindergartner. I do her individual lessons together completely, and she's just learning
Good.
to read.
Okay.
Then
So
I
next,
make
y'all, little
lunch.
tiny
I've
shapes
found
of
it
peppers.
extremely helpful to switch off which kids help
How
me,
about the
but
pepper?
especially having my toddler help me with
Little tiny
lunch
shapes,
or
but not just a
breakfast every
little.
day really gives her
Or a big
such
one.
confidence, and she
Good.
is so much happier
Good
when she's
job.
able to do that.
Oh, I'll get that
Building
water, so
those
don't worry.
habits and helping her learn to
Sure.
cook
You
and
push that
bake,
one down.
those life skills are just so important. And it is very
Push
hard
it
in the
down
toddler
all the
years.
way.
We dropped
Ooh, it's hard.
everything
Keep
into the
going.
crock pot, it seemed at that time, several times, but I know that they're going to pay off because I've seen it happen with my first two. So hang in there if you're in the toddler stage only and can't see past how hard it is
Next
when
one.
they crack eggs on the floor continuously or drop things in the crock pot. Teaching her,
Okay, what's
safety of
hard?
the stove, and
We
she's
know
pretty good about that.
these.
And just
It
having her help
says
me
all
is
these.
is just going to pay
Yeah.
off so much in the future, and it's so fun for her, and she loves it, and she's just more delighted too. And of course, our littlest one joined us.
There you go.
So
Oh, there's
after
your
my toddler
eraser
helped
that
me
needs to
make
go in
lunch
there.
and we also made supper in the crock pot, then we clear off the table for lunch because we homeschool in our dining room and just need to make sure that everything gets put away
Okay.
nicely.
Here's this.
Then we
Put
are
them in the
able
kitchen.
to not spill on any curriculum, and it's a team effort.
Sure. Let me get it on the plate though.
I want to put everyone's.
Right before we eat, everyone can have their play break while I nurse. And while I am nap trapped, everyone plays and I get to
Baby,
read a
don't do
book, which
this
is always fun. I always keep
again.
books by me
You're
because I do
hearing
get nap
me,
trapped quite a lot.
baby.
Then everyone had their lunch while I was nursing, and I usually try to eat it with them. It really all depends on the baby, how much I get to eat with the children or not, but I'm always just right in the next room so I can see them and talk with them and make sure nothing nefarious is happening. And then I was able to finish my lunch and set up poetry tea time. That's one of the subjects we loop each week. We decided this year, or I decided, I suppose, that Mondays were going to be poetry tea time. We'd bake something on the weekends, and I switch off. One child gets to bake with me each weekend for something for poetry tea time. And so My oldest baked with me over the weekend and decided on chocolate chip cookies. And so I set everyone up with a little snack platter and some cookies and added some tea. Tea can be hit or miss. I usually do herbal teas, but I wanted to try the Victorian London Fog with the children because I love it so much. It is my favorite tea and it's so delicious. I think everybody's favorite subject is poetry tea time. It's really made me appreciate poetry, and we get our
Because they're
baking
cleaning
life
up right now.
skills in, and we can do our artist study at this time too a little bit more. We do it in morning time as well, but being able to just talk further about the painting because we focus on one painting for
William
2 weeks
Blake.
and we have one artist for
You
12
remember
weeks
about
in
him?
Ambleside Online.
Yes, we went to school.
And so
Yes.
everyone just kind of joins us. Sometimes the baby sleeps, and
Okay,
sometimes
let's
she's
do
just happy to be in my
the last
arms.
one.
And so I'll read poetry from our
You're going
poet
to
that we
eat
do
and let me answer
for
the poems,
each
okay?
term. This term was William
The
Blake, and so I
blossom.
have Ambleside
Mary, Mary,
Online's
skip
collection
a
of
gun,
poetry.
and
And then I
those who
also try to
saw
get
the
like a
buffaloes
picture
are
book
gone.
poem book that is really
Now let's
helpful
have
for
it.
my toddler.
The
There's just so
buffaloes
many
are
good
gone, and those
poems
who
and
saw the
poetry books
buffaloes
out
are
there,
gone.
and
Those who
I
saw
think
the
it really
buffaloes
helps
by thousands.
everyone
Everyone
appreciate
took along
poems
good with
more.
this? All right, go
I
ahead and
did put
tell
my
me
toddler down
what you
for her nap
remember.
as well as the baby went down for hers. And then we just played a game of guess the painting's name
Okay.
with my older two, and that's always fun. I write down
All right.
what they come up with, and it's just such a fun game to play for looking at art and just kind of trying to think what the artist could possibly name this painting.
Island of the Lakes. So it's a factory at Pontosay. Let me get my book and I will be able to.
And after lunch, we do quiet time in our house every single day. And one of the rules for quiet time is that we do independent reading, including me. Everybody has to read for at least 15 minutes. You can take a nap or you can read. Then everyone is allowed to play quietly and just do their own stuff until quiet time.
Okay,
And then once everybody
ordinary milk
wakes
that
up,
his mother had
then
to go
I
and take
get some read
milk from a
alouds
mountain
in,
lion who was
either our
raising
read
baby
aloud
cubs.
or anything maybe
Bill's
that I didn't
mother
get
was
during the
rather unusual in her own
school
way.
hours done that I have to read. And I'll put out a sketch pad for my toddler as well as her gel pens, which is her current favorite thing, and coloring
Wasn't it
pages
like
and
some
stickers.
kind of like
She just loves
strawberry
those.
taste
That
than
is something
pineapple?
that keeps her really content while I maybe finish up any kind of independent lessons that I didn't get through. Maybe I
Hope you
took
do
quiet
pink.
time
Okay,
a
how
little for
many?
myself. It all depends on the day. But
One,
then
two,
we
three.
just kind of do whatever we need to finish
One,
up. I try
two,
to get everything done
three,
before lunch,
four,
but
five.
in this season of
Now you
toddlers and
practice, all
babies,
right?
it really
So,
doesn't always
let's
happen.
see. Are
Our
there
school
10
collectively
balloons that we
really
can
is
set
only like
free?
a couple hours,
Let's
maybe
count them.
1.5 hours at the most right now.
4,
Sometimes
5,
two,
6,
depending on if we
7,
have a
8,
lot of loop
9,
schedules that
10.
day. But
Once
with
they're
all the
connected in
interruptions
cursive,
and
that they all
everything
join
that
together.
happens, we just tend to roll with the season we're in and do some stuff. So some great ideas to keep toddlers content are Mr. Potato Head, coloring books, puzzles, drawings, stickers, all those fun things. And if you're in this similar life stage with toddlers or homeschooling with littles, then I definitely want to invite you to check out this homeschool collaboration between the other mamas and me. We're all in similar life stages. And just check out Jerilyn's, who's tomorrow. And don't forget to check out Hannah and Marissa, who already went. And thank you so much for watching. Until the next video.